Drive to Survive Season 8 might be the most frustrating season yet. Not because it was bad, but because it missed what actually mattered. Hi guys, it's we and today we're talking about what Drive to Survive got wrong this year. Number 1. The Team Principal Show. This season felt less like an F1 documentary and more like a Team Principal reality show. Yes, Toto vs. Christian is entertaining. Zach's commentary is kinda great, but when team principals get more narrative weight than the drivers themselves, something feels off. By the way, was Charles even present this season? See, my point is, we don't watch F1 for press room politics alone. We watch it for the drivers too. And this season forgot that balance. Number 2. Missing major storylines. Netflix cut the season to 8 episodes instead of the usual 10 and still left out some of the most compelling arcs of the year. George winning Singapore after that 2023 crash? That's a redemption story written for television. Norris bouncing back with dominant performances in Mexico and Brazil? Barely explored. And the McLaren internal drama? Where was the real behind-the-scenes tension? If the season is shorter, the storytelling needs to be sharper, not thinner. Number 3. Manufactured realities. The direction for this season felt scattered. Instead of focusing on rivalries fans were genuinely invested in, we got random pairings that lacked context. Lewis vs. Kimi? Sure, interesting, but was it the rivalry fans were actually discussing all year? Meanwhile, Lewis vs. Carlos would have been a masterclass narrative. Drive to Survive works best when it amplifies real tension, not when it tries to invent it. Number 4. Orchestrated moments versus real moments. Some scenes felt staged for cinematic value rather than authentic access. And while George and Carmen segments were fun, or Zach and Oscar moments were entertaining, what fans really want is organic access. Show us the paddle games, show us the chaos, show us the unfiltered moments drivers talk about in interviews. Those are the moments that become iconic. Number 5. Incomplete arcs. One of the biggest problems this season had was incomplete storytelling. Some drivers got closure, while others simply disappeared from the narrative. Kimi's arc felt rounded, but what about Ollie's standout performances? Gabriel's home race crash and Hadj's podium in Zandvoort? You can't build tension around a storyline and then just abandon it. It breaks the emotional payoff. Now, to be fair, not everything was wrong. The Lando and Oscar O2 commentary? Brilliant. Max and Lewis casually discussing Max's child? Very humanizing. In fact, Hülkenberg's first podium felt genuinely emotional. And George's skincare secrets? Iconic. Those were the strong beats, but they felt scattered instead of structured. Drive to Survive originally existed to bring new fans into Formula 1, and it succeeded. But now, F1 is global, it's mainstream, and the audience has evolved. We don't just want drama, and in fact, I genuinely felt good when they decreased the fake radios this season. Because we want depth, we want authenticity, we want the real behind-the-scenes story. Because when you try to manufacture tension in a sport that naturally produces it, you end up weakening the magic. If Netflix is listening, this is what we actually want next season. And if you enjoy such F1 breakdowns, make sure you subscribe, because this season is about to get interesting.